Hey guys, welcome back to another Sunday school video. It's good to see you all again. Okay, I'm not technically seeing you, but you can see me, so it's great for you to see me again. That sounds very not humble at all, so okay. Not very. Okay, Emily's saying that I'm lame. She's in the background over here. We'll say hi to her later. Yeah. So guys, we're continuing our study in the book of James. We are now about to finish up chapter 2. So if you have a Bible with you and you want to read along with me when I get to reading this, I'll be using the old NIV, which sounds weird because NIV stands for New International Version, and this is the old New International Version because they updated it recently. I don't know, they changed some things. So this is the Bible that I got from being in the youth group when I graduated, so it's the old NIV. And we'll be reading verses 14 through 26. So if you want to turn there and check it out, you can read along with me in a second. So I have here a puzzle piece, and this is actually a pretty important puzzle piece because it fits into this puzzle that Emily and I are working on, which I'll show you in a minute. But I have it, so that's good. I have a puzzle piece. It's good that I have it, and for now, that's all I need. I just need this puzzle piece, and I'm good to go. This brings me comfort, brings me joy, makes my life better just to have it. So, yeah. With that in mind, let's read our verses today. So, James chapter 2, starting in verse 14. James says this: "What good is it, my brothers, if a man claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such a faith save him? Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to him, 'Go, I wish you well, keep warm and well fed,' but does nothing about his physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. But someone will say, 'You have faith, I have deeds.' Show me your faith without deeds, and I will show you my faith by what I do. You believe that there is one God. Good! Even the demons believe that, and shudder. You foolish man, do you want evidence that faith without deeds is useless? Was not our ancestor Abraham considered righteous for what he did when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, 'Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness, and he was called God's friend.' You see that a person is justified by what he does, and not by faith alone. In the same way, was not even Rahab the prostitute considered righteous for what she did when she gave lodging to the spies and sent them off in a different direction? As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead." Now, to give you some context here, he talks about that story with Abraham, and I'm not sure if everyone watching this is going to be familiar with that story. So just to give you a quick recap, so Abraham was the forefather of the entire nation of Israel. God came to him and he said, "Abraham, I am going to make a great nation out of you and your descendants. I promise you that out of your descendants is going to come this great, amazing, awesome nation that's going to be a blessing to the whole world." Okay? That's a promise that I'm making to you. There was one problem that Abraham could foresee with this promise. Abraham had no kids. No heirs, no sons, no daughters, nothing. He had no kids. It's kind of hard for your descendants to become a great nation if you have no descendants, right? However, throughout the account of Abraham, he continues to trust in God's promise. In that sense, he believes, he has faith in what God has promised to him. And so eventually, he has a son whom he names Isaac. And that son grows up a little bit. He's probably about a teenager, young child to a teenager, somewhere in that time. And at that point, God comes to Abraham and he says, "Abraham, I want you to go up on the mountain and I want you to sacrifice Isaac. I want you to make a sacrifice to me, and I want you to sacrifice your son, your only son, Isaac." And so Abraham takes Isaac and takes all the stuff he would need for a sacrifice, and he goes up the mountain, and he prepares everything, sets up the altar, puts up the wood and everything, even ties up Isaac and puts him on the altar. He has a knife and he is about to kill him, to sacrifice him to God. And as he's about to do this, God steps in and is like, whoa, hold on, stop. I see now that you have believed me. You've trusted that even if I ask for your son as a sacrifice and you were to kill him, you still believe that I would make a great nation out of you. That's what it's talking about when it says Abraham believed God. Because he trusted that even if God was going to take away his only son, that even then, God would still provide and fulfill his promise to make a great nation out of Abraham's descendants. So not only did he have faith in God, but he acted on it. He acted in a way that lined up with his faith. So that's why it says in the passage. And so you see that his works or his deeds and his faith worked together. That's what we're talking about in this passage. So James is talking to the church, of course, and he's just sharing this idea that faith without works is dead. What is the point of having faith in God and faith in his promises, faith in Jesus, if it's not going to affect our lives, if it's not going to affect the way that we treat people and the way that we live? What's the point of faith without any kind of response in our life? That's what James is talking about in this passage, and he compares it to Abraham and all of that. And so earlier I told you guys I had this puzzle piece, right? Great puzzle piece. Really makes me happy. It's actually a little bit of my hair. Let's see if you can focus in on there. There's a little bit of my hair in my skin, like part of my face. So it's a good part of good part of the thing. Well, for Valentine's Day, I got Emily a puzzle with one of our engagement photos on it. And so it's like a customized puzzle. It's really cool. And we've been working on it since Valentine's Day, which was last week. So this is as far as we've gotten. Let's see if you can see that. Okay. Yeah. So you can see there's me, there's that missing. This is probably where this piece goes. Here's her face and oh yeah, all that stuff. So this is all the easy stuff in the puzzle. Let me show you what the finished product is going to look like. It's going to look like this. Now for comparison here, yeah, that's how much we finished, and this is what we have left. You might notice that the parts that we haven't finished yet, yeah, it's all like white and blue. That's it. That's all that's left is the sky and the water. Those are all the pieces we haven't put in yet. You might notice a lack of distinguishing colors on there. I didn't think this through when I chose the picture. But anyway, each of those pieces has a place in this puzzle, as does this piece right here. And if I just hold on to this piece and keep it with me and it makes me happy and I don't do anything with it, I don't add it to the puzzle, like what's the point of having the piece? It's just a puzzle piece. It doesn't really do anything. Like if I'm going to have this, I need to put it to use. I need to do something with it. It needs to affect things. So I'm just going to see if I can finagle this. Just go ahead and put that in my face. There, now my face is complete. See, I did something with the puzzle piece and I added it to the puzzle. Fantastic. And that's what we have to do with our faith. We have faith in God. We have faith in Jesus. We are saved by grace through faith, not by works, so that no one can boast. I need to clarify that. What we're talking about here is not that we need to work for our salvation. But if we truly have faith in God, faith in his promises, faith in the salvation that we have received through grace, then that needs to affect the way we live. That needs to work itself out in our lives so that we are living in a way that is pleasing to God, that is in accordance with the faith that we have. And so he actually mentions at the beginning there an example. He says, suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. So this is somebody in need, that they don't have enough clothes to keep them warm at night or even during the day. They don't have enough food to eat throughout the day. So they're hungry and they're malnourished and they don't really have any clothes. He says, suppose someone like that, you see someone like that, and it says, if one of you says to him, go, I wish you well, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about his physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. So if we see somebody who is clearly in need, needs food, needs clothes, and we say, hey, I recognize that you have a need. I hope you find some food. I hope you find some clothes. Good luck. See you later. What good is that? That doesn't help them. That's not living out the faith that we have, that God cares for all people. No, we need to see if we can fulfill that need, even if it means offering the shirt off my back. Because I have more clothes. This isn't the only shirt that I have, even though it's in a lot of the videos, I'm sure. Like, I could spare this and provide for somebody else. That is works. So James is basically saying, guys, if you're going to be Christians, if you're going to follow God and you're going to believe in Jesus and you're going to live this life, then that means that you have to actually care for other people, serve other people, try to live in a way that is pleasing to God. So before I start to repeat myself even more, I'm going to leave you guys with that. So just think about in your life, if you truly are a Christian, if you truly believe in Jesus, what are some ways that you can live that out? What are some ways that you can be obedient to what God says is right? To not just hear the word, but to do it too. Peace out.